Hello and welcome back, fellow foolish mortals, to the most foolish channel on the internet. So before we get started, I would just like to say I post every single Sunday and occasionally midweek if I feel like doing that. So let's roll on, shall we? Today I'm going to be talking about my Disneyland audition experience. So, quick disclosure for anybody out there. The last time I did a Disneyland audition was in 2016. I have taken part in a few different Disneyland auditions, along with a few different Disney park auditions as well. I have never been a cast member, so I'm not here to give you advice. I'm not here for any of that. I'm here just to tell you about my experience. So much time has actually passed since doing that, so I'm sure the rules are actually different now and they're looking for different things. So I don't mind about giving some information away, because it just may not be true anymore. At the audition, you are actually required to sign something and not give away much information about what you went through. I don't want to get into trouble, you know? So I'm not here to spill the tea, as it were. I'm here and just telling you my experience, and a lot of what I'm going to be talking about is actually already available to look at on the internet. If you've never auditioned for Disneyland Paris at all, then please don't take my word as absolute gospel. Like I said, it's been many years since I last auditioned, so things have most definitely probably maybe changed. So that's my disclosure portion complete, I suppose, so I might as well just crack on with this. Okay, so my first ever audition was for Disneyland Paris. It was at Pineapple Dance Studios in London, which is quite far away from me, so I had to get up at like 5 AM for the coach. And that was my first ever audition. It was in 2014. I had done a lot of research beforehand. I had watched a lot of videos, so I'd gone with lots of research. I kind of knew what to expect, but it is so different being there. I arrived about half an hour early, and I was about halfway down this queue of hundreds of people, and I went in character heels and a cute little pink dress. At this time as well, I was probably one of my heavier weights, which I do think that it does matter about your size when you audition, because, for instance, you're not going to have somebody who is larger play a Disney princess. Same with height, they always measure you when you go in. For instance, if you're going to be 6 foot, you're not going to be playing Alice. It's to do with consistency. They're not discriminating against you. There is standard costumes. They don't make the costume to fit you. You fit the costume. And I completely understand that. So I went in there. I did terribly. I tripped on my heel and my heel went whoop, and yeah, that did not go well for me. But it was an amazing audition experience, honestly. And I actually met some people there that I became friends with. It's amazing because I am actually still friends to this day with many people that I have met at Disneyland Paris auditions. God, how many people? I have met probably 6 or 7 people that at these Disneyland Paris auditions that I am still friends with to this day. And that's saying something. That's quite amazing. When I say friends to this day, I'm including the people that we still just like each other's stuff on Facebook and Instagram. If I'm just friends with them on Instagram and Facebook and we don't interact anymore, I'm not counting that, but I have some people like that as well, and I think that that's actually incredible. I understand as well that I don't really look that much like any face character. The first round is a sort of a measuring round, so you sort of all go in, you have these numbers, you stick them on your chest, and then you sign your thing and disclose and your birth date and everything, and you go in, you take your shoes off, so you queue around the dance studio and this person measures your height, and if they don't measure it correctly, I think they measure it based on what they think that you may fit, because I am not 170 centimetres and I'm not 160 centimetres, I am 166 centimetres, and they have only actually measured me at 166 centimetres once. You then take your paper up to this panel and they kind of like go, thank you. So on this form you would have said that you don't have any back pain and you don't have claustrophobia and you don't have asthma, but I don't know if it's a disclosure and they probably just don't discriminate against it anyway, but they may just have a look at it and be like, they've got all of these things, maybe this isn't the best thing, because if you have back, neck, hip problems, then these character suits may aggravate these problems, apparently. So once everyone's handed in their little paper and you've sort of been judged, you sort of like sit down, have a little kiki with your friends and your new buddies. I don't mind doing that. I'm happy to like literally chat to anybody ever, especially if it's about Disney. And then they basically start this presentation that I ended up accidentally learning off by heart. Yeah, this person stands up in front of everybody and does this cute little presentation about what it's like to be a cast member. Do leave now if these X, Y, and Z does not suit you. Here is your wage if you ask to be successful, and the wage differs from job role to job role. So you're sort of there to be either a fur character. So a fur character is just a full suit that covers you from head to toe. It's not necessarily furry. It just covers you, and it's the one that has the eye slots that you can see through. Apparently it is around 10 degrees hotter in that suit than it is outside, which is great for the winter but not so much for the summer. They also do say about limited vision, so just so you are aware that you do have the limited vision, and if that was something that was going to affect you, then the job's not for you, because no matter which one of these roles that you get, you will also be in the fur. Or a character performer, as in face. This character is just a character that shows their face essentially, whether this is for meet and greets or for the actual parade. So for instance, Mary Poppins or Alice or Peter Pan, all of these will be face characters. Same with villains, anything that you can actually speak and interact with, and you just use your natural face basically. Or dancing. Okay, with dance, that's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It's just you will be dancing in the parades and the shows. The only time that you'd have guest interaction besides in those parades would be when you're in a fur character, because, like I said, you do have to do fur no matter which one of these roles you may have been successful with. They just are able to move and pick up routines quickly. It sort of just talks about the job role, the benefits, any perks that you may get as being successful. Talks about being possibly on a waiting list. So this is about half an hour, so your legs are kind of numb. He goes on to any questions, he answers any questions, and then you sort of move on to your first round, which they call animation. So your animation round is a little bit like performing different character types in the count of 8. So it's like a cowboy or a dwarf, or a princess or something like that, just to the count of 8, and it's to a particular song, like a Disney song, and there's a parade-ish thing. I rehearsed that song so many times it was ridiculous. You have a few practices in groups. They sort of split you into groups of 10, and then when you do your audition, it is staggered, so you have so like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, like that. And then you may have, like, for instance, 250, 251, 252. So I believe that in that moment they're just sort of looking for a bit of personality, and if you can project a character through your body. So if you're successful, you obviously stay and you move to the side, and if you're unsuccessful, you're obviously cut and you're asked to go home, but not to take it personally. It just means they don't need somebody like you right now. But they're never going to say what it is that they are actually looking for. They may actually keep you and just put you on the books to wait. But that is sort of the first round, is your animation, that everyone who is successful would be doing this fur character job, which means that you're friends with a certain character. If you are not successful, you will be cut and you will be asked to leave, and you'll say your goodbyes and just move out of the building and then continue your day trip in London. But if you are successful, then you'll move on to the dance round, and then again the dance round is a very similar sort of thing. You just learn the dance rather than your own sort of interpretation of a character, but it's still to music. You get sort of progressively harder as the counts go along, and if you are a dancer, then this may be completely fine for you. You know, if they're happy, they may have you and take you on as a dancer, or they can put you on the books, or you can actually move on to be checked as a face character. So for this, they will be looking at your faces, looking for anything that it's not quite right. It doesn't mean you're ugly, but it just means that you're not right for a character. If you don't suit that particular character, then you may just be asked to leave, or you could be put on the books, or you could actually be considered just as a dancer, for instance, if they feel that you actually have that ability. The thing is, you can actually go and then get cut on the first round and then make it all the way to the end, or you could keep going and being put on the books over and over and over again, and then they just never take you. It can be particularly frustrating to keep going for it and then not get anything. It can also sort of mess with your mind slightly, like, why don't they want me? What's going on? I feel like you have to have some sort of mental strength within yourself to know that they're not calling you ugly. I do feel like having a certain build or a certain height or a certain face that you may not be able to help, that can actually like help your chances or hinder your chances, but I feel like you can do certain things that could improve your chances. For instance, if you wanted to just take basic dance classes, this could really help your movement ability, I suppose. I also went for, was it Hong Kong or Tokyo? Or a cruise line audition? I can't remember. I think it was Hong Kong and cruise line in one hit. Just could not dance whatever dance it was that they wanted us to do. I sort of worked it out by the time I got home, and I was like, oh yeah, that was it. But the thing is, when I went to my Disneyland Paris auditions in London Pineapple Dance Studio, I got so used to them. I knew exactly what was coming, and I sort of got to know what the sequences were. And also had a great day trip out in London, because I'm not from London. I got to visit there many times, and I went to almost every single free museum, if not every single free museum in London, like the main ones anyway. And many great day trips. So yeah, we saw Mamma Mia really spontaneously, and we also went to a Disney shop, so that was really fun, and that was like 2016. And as you can see from this montage as well, I was awake from 3 minutes past 3. No, I was ready to leave at 3 minutes past 3. Also in Victoria Station, there's this like, well, you can eat pizza place. It's a great place to go, because I'd always basically not starve myself before a Disneyland Paris audition, but I definitely eat very, very healthy and exercise a lot to try and make myself look a little bit more toned and confident in my own body. Not that you even need to do that, but for myself I did. And then that pizza was just my reward. But like, I know people who have been successful. I know people who have worked at the parks, people that I've met at these auditions, and they have got all the way to the end, and I am so proud of them. Everyone has had different experiences, so like I cannot recommend how to do an audition. I don't even know if what I'm talking about is even the same as what it is now. Well, not now, because there's a blooming pandemic going on, but continuing, I have no idea. I really enjoyed the people that I met at these auditions. I enjoyed the thrill of it, even if I was on a coach for 3 hours to get to London. You get all that adrenaline. I love that sort of feeling. I think that everything that I have said here is everything that I am comfortable sort of speaking about. I don't want to go into exactly what the dance was. I don't want to go into exactly what the animation sequence is. It's just what rounds they were. So I'm sure a lot of this you may already be aware of. Everything that I am saying is actually available for you to look at on the internet. So if you want to go into more detail, you can actually look into that further. So I'll say something quite fun. A lot of people there would wear whatever. So I found the best thing for me to do was wear ballet shoes. Other people went barefoot or in their socks or in their jazz shoes. For me, I found ballet flats were the best ones for that floor. I saw a lot of people there that had gone in actual Disney tops. Saw people there in leotards and full-on dancewear. My favourite outfit that I went in was a leotard with a cute sports bra underneath, and then a little flowy dance skirt, and then my ballet flats, and some obviously dance tights. So I felt sort of ready to dance, and I feel as though you would view me more as a dancer and possibly put me through to more rounds if you saw me that way, but I have no idea if that's true, because people got through in frilly dresses, people got through in basically jeans, people got through in Disney tops, people got through in bright 80s leggings. It really had no difference in what you wore when I was there anyway. They just said on the website, wear something comfortable that you can move in, so that was my favourite thing that I wore. What I felt most confident wearing at that thing. Also, I found that it showed my body off as well, so that they knew what I actually looked like. Same with makeup. The best thing that I felt that I wore with makeup, they say not to wear makeup, but almost everyone wears makeup if you're a girl. Some guys, I think, wore makeup as well. I found that just having a little bit of concealer on over blemishes, a little bit of mascara on, and just sort of making my eyebrows slightly more tinted and my lips slightly more tinted, just sort of showed off my natural beauty. I always had my hair in plaits, I think. I only ever went in French plaits from what I remember. So it's like out of my face, out of my way. That's kind of my vibe I was going for. People went in all sorts of hairstyles. People went in for all sorts of glam makeup. Some people would portray a character that I think that they thought that they looked like, and I don't think that this necessarily helped them from what I remember, but I have no idea. I'm not on that panel. I'm not even sure that that panel even exists anymore. It could be a whole lot of other people. I'm here for just saying my opinions and my experience. When I went in, I didn't actually want to be a princess. I went in with the idea of being a fur character that I thought, because I wasn't so sure about my mug, but I obviously was not successful with that. So yeah, I think that that's basically my entire shabam. It's quite a short video, but I hope that you liked it regardless. Please, again, take me with a pinch of salt. This wasn't an advice video, this isn't anything like that, and I hope that you really did keep my disclosure in mind. I don't want to go into a lot of detail. Even just one person, I don't want to wrongly influence anybody into thinking something about this audition that they may not even experience in the first place. But if you liked it, then let me know by giving me a thumbs up and a comment and subscribing and all that sort of stuff. The usual things. So thank you so much for supporting me. Have a magical day. Bye!